Hello, my name's Wayne, and I'm going to show you how I mounted this hippie cute crane into the back of my truck. I want to thank all the YouTubers out there for giving me information on how they mounted theirs. This video is for informational purposes only, to show the view of how I installed my crane into my truck and nothing more. You're responsible for the design, dimensions, choice of materials, calculated allowable loads, and load testing your installation. You are also responsible for any damages or injuries that may occur due to installing a crane in this manner. The flexing in the video is an optical illusion. The boom swings forward, making it look like it's flexing. In reality, everything remains stiff.
Okay, we're going to show you what I've installed this crane for. It's a small objects like generators and welding machines. We're going to lift up the generator crane with a remote control over here. Basically it. So you can see that we didn't have any movement or anything in the back. It's able to pick it up with no problem. So there we go. And that's it. For this crane you have 3 boom length settings. The fall one is only rated for 275 pounds. The middle one is 550 pounds. And the close one's supposed to be 1100. I'm not planning on picking up anything 1100 pounds. You have to have it on the middle setting just to get beyond the tailgate. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I took a little bit of a different approach than a lot of people. Basically, I put a 3/8 inch plate to catch the truck frame and the corner of the bed so that I got as much use out of that corner structural members as possible, and the only really weak point is the 1/2 inch bolt out in the bed, open bed itself. But these 2 bolts here are mounted in the frame, so I feel good about that. I got 5/8 inch bolts with cap nuts on the back side, and the cap nuts are welded to the back side of the 3/8 inch plate. So if I want to use my truck bed to the full extent, all I have to do is just unbolt the 5/8 inch bolts and move the crane inside the truck or into the garage. So there's the crane folded up and with the little electrical box. Okay, this is the underside of the truck, and that's the frame mount that I went through. That's the other frame mount. That's a 1/2 inch bolt. This I grabbed a hold of the bed beam, and you can see it's crushed a little bit. And then this back part here is where I grabbed the rear bed beam, and that's in the corner by the tailgate. So I tried to get as much reinforcement with the corner section of the bed to add a little extra support. And there's the holes for the actual crane mount, and those are 5/8 inch. Okay, we're going to talk about the electrical. Basically, I came off the passenger side battery with the electrical, and I put a breaker in. It's an 80 amp breaker up underneath the hood as close to the battery as I could. Just mounted it up on a panel there. From there, I went under the truck and I followed the bed frame, well, I should say the truck frame, and tied it up here. I do have cable protectors, conduit on the upper part. I still need to put it in this back part. Coming to the rear, that comes up into this electrical box, and in the electrical box I put the relay, the winch relay, and I have the remote control. I have a waterproof connection here for the wires going to the winch, and that's a 100 amp plug waterproof connection. So this little electrical panel box is pretty neat. You have to mount it a little forward from the corner there to clear the crane where you can access it. I was planning on using the remote control that came with the winch, but I had to buy a $12 waterproof plug versus buying a $17 remote control unit. So I went with the remote control unit.
These are the holes that I drilled into the bed of my beautiful truck. The upper left hole is the most critical to get right. The rest of the holes have some flexibility. This is a picture of hitting the existing half-inch hole in the frame from the underside. The left picture has the bed beam, the spacer beam between the bed beam and the frame, The half-inch hole in the frame is what I was aiming for. Notice how far the drill bit sticks through. This is a picture of hitting the existing half-inch hole in the frame with a half-inch drill bit. There's not enough room to drill it from underneath. Notice the half-inch drill bit barely reached through the frame. This is a picture of the 3/8 inch plate with the dimensions of the holes that worked for me. You're on your own. I have a milling machine with a digital readout. The 18 inch by 18 inch plate was too large for all the holes, so I had to turn it around and re-zero. The 5/8 inch holes were a bear to drill. Notice the existing bed bolt requires a 5/8 inch hole. This picture just shows the 5/8 inch cap nuts welded to the back side of the 3/8 inch plate. This is a picture of what was left out of the kit. The winch controller only has a 10 or 12 gauge wire, which will burn up under load. I was extremely borderline with the 4 gauge wire. If you look hard enough at the instructions, you can see that they require a winch relay. The one in the picture is the one I purchased. This is a picture of the circuit breaker in a waterproof electrical box. I could have mounted the winch relays and the controller under the hood, but I wanted to have 12 volts to the back of the truck in case I needed it for something in the future. Here are the remote control and a waterproof plug. The wired controller would require a $12 plug, and a remote unit was $17. It's convenient because you can slip the sending unit in and out of your pocket. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that your project turns out as successful as mine did.